There's a lot of talk about, Carvana just laying off 2,500 people, and other organizations in the automotive space that have had layoffs because there's just simply, no inventory to sell. So they're, having to make tough decisions for the overall health of the entire company. But I think this might help seeing the value in John Q salesperson, because here's John or Jane Q salesperson, excuse me. Because here's what I usually see in the car business when we've been flush with inventory. We treat our salespeople through a revolving door. So, we constantly have ads out for salespeople. Most all of my dealership have continuously running ads, especially in my more urban areas, for hiring salespeople. No experience necessary. We'll pay you a salary the first couple of months to get you going, what have you. But I think with what's been going on with inventory wise, the salespeople that really don't have the time management skills, don't have the people skills, don't have the email, the internet, the communication skills, the rapport building skills, I think they're going to move on to something else. The truly lazy salesperson is really a thing of the past. You have to be on point with your follow-up. Reason being is because you can't just send them an email, phone call, and a text message for the first 72 hours every day, multiple times a day, and then if they don't answer, just go by the wayside. We don't have that much inventory to let any lead go right now. So I think this will absolutely step up the quality of the follow-up processes that we have within the stores, but I think it's also going to step up the quality of the salespeople that we retain and that we hire. Those ones that long-term salespeople I've seen at store, I'm seeing that a lot more now. Salespeople who've been there for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, things like that. I'm hearing a lot more often, other than, hey, I started, 3 months ago or 3 weeks ago or 3 days ago. And I really, truly think that this is no longer going to be a revolving door for salespeople type of business. And it's long been an issue. Turnover in any business is absolutely, it really cuts into the bottom line of the business. Car business is no different, so it cuts into our bottom line too. But I think because, I don't know, maybe dealerships were making so much money we didn't care. I don't really know what to point to say this is the reason why the quality of the salesperson, we weren't really concerned with it. It was more like, do they have a pulse, and let's bring them in and make them sell cars. And I think we're going to have to change our attitude on that, because customers, now with the onset of digital retailing tools, and those are starting to pick up steam, I really think that you're going to have a lot more internet proficient salespeople, and also salespeople who can navigate through not having a car that a customer is interested in. And instead of making the customer submit, 3 leads, 5 leads to try to get a car or wait for a car to come in, we're going to have to really, that quality, that follow-up process from day one. Hey, I have one in the pipeline coming in. It can be dicey sometimes, when it's going to arrive, but I'll absolutely give you updates as they come in. And then in between those updates, even if you don't have an update, hey man, I haven't forgotten about you. The timing is still showing that this is going to be here on the 21st. I did find an article that I thought you'd find interesting on the Frontier, whatever vehicle it is, that you might want to take a look at, talking about the quality score, the satisfaction with it, whatever it is, but keeping them engaged with value-added content, value-added email on that direct one-to-one basis. That's where we're really going to win out. So you have to think of it from the customer's perspective. I need a new vehicle. I need a new SUV. So I don't want to have to put in a lead through a traditional lead through my company's website or through the dealership's website, and then, field who knows how many phone calls and emails and get harassed to death. Am I going to show up to the dealership and buy a car when I just started shopping in the market? So I think really customizing your follow-up to what type of lead you are getting. So whether it's from a third-party source like Auto Trader, or whether it's from a manufacturer website like Ford Vehicles USA or whatever it is, you have to look at where that lead is coming from, and then you can establish in your head, okay, well, this person submitted a lead through Kelley Blue Book, for example. That means they're probably looking for a price on their trade-in, and they probably just started looking. So I'm going to reach out to them and talk about their trade and really focus in on that part of the conversation. And by doing that, you set your store apart from the other stores that are just calling, trying to get people in the door for an appointment for a car they probably don't have. So it's a long game play, but it's a better play. It's the way the Highline stores have been doing it for years, right? There's a reason why BMW stores don't have a shit ton of inventory sitting on their lots at any given time. When I sold BMWs, we ordered for 90% of my book of business. We ordered the car. That was just the way it was. If it was a new car, we were ordering it. That's just the way it's the way it was done. Same thing for Mercedes. People order those cars. They don't keep a whole ton of inventory on the lot, especially when you get to higher dollar cars. Porsche, same way. Audi, same way. When you get to the higher dollar mark cars, now 3 Series, 5 Series, generally speaking, you keep a couple of those on the lot strictly for driving purpose, new vehicles. But more often than not, I mean, people are ordering these cars because they want what they want. If you're paying, $45,000, $50,000 for a car, I want it the way I want it, and I get that. But I think the domestic and the Hondas and Kias and Hyundais and all those other types of brands, we're really going to have to start stepping that up with that longer term one-to-one quality follow-up process, and speaking to the customer on their terms instead of trying to mold them to just get them in the store, just get them in. That just doesn't work. It hasn't worked in quite some time. It hasn't worked probably since about 2001, 2002. So we have to stop thinking like that. I don't want to give them a payment because then they'll shop me. Okay, well, treat them better. Honestly, treat them better. People who shop in solely 100% on price, that accounts for about 10% of your book of business. Price is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but what I'm saying is also a little bit more important is how you're treating the customer. Are you listening to them? Are you just waiting to talk, or are you listening to them? And what I mean by that is my example from before. So a lead comes in from a third-party source, Auto Trader, KBB, Edmunds, wherever. Are we talking about whatever started that conversation? Was it evaluating their trade? Was it looking at a used car? What started the conversation? And you can see in the subcategories in your CRM what exactly generated the lead. Start talking to them on their terms. Build that more personal connection, one-to-one connection, and you won't have so much of a problem with people shopping you. Build that rapport from the first phone call, from the first email, from the first text message, and you can reduce the amount of cross-shopping that's happening. It's not happening as much as we thought in the past. So, better quality of salespeople, better quality of follow-up, I think is really going to turn a corner and allow automotive to come into the 21st century as being ahead in the digital game instead of always behind. Hope that helps this week. Happy selling.